please give it a share. Give it a like. There's the link. Hey, I like it. Hey, good job, Mark. I shared it with my friend in Alaska. His name is Sid. Sid already has it. But thanks for sharing with Sid anyway, because now he has a second link. Now Sid can go right to the channel, or he can go to the email you sent. So thank you for that. You were being very thoughtful. You're like, I got a friend in Alaska. His name is Sid. I'll send it to him. Sydney? Sydney? Sid45? Yeah. We know Sid45. You know, we sponsor his drink every night. That's right, Sid45. Yeah, when you getting yourself a nice drink, get yourself a Sid45. That's right. There's nothing like a Sid45 when it's negative 45 degrees here in Alaska. Get yourself a Sid45 by Menon. And Sid's over there, Sid45. Guys, when you need your liquor, make sure you order your Sid45. They're available down below. Check the description. Sid45s, and they're on sale. You can get a six-pack for 6,229 rupees. You can only buy it in rupees right now. We don't have the conversion to U.S. dollars yet. But if you got rupees, you can make that order tonight. Sid, did you figure out how to exchange the rupees for money yet? Because I know that was something Sid was trying to figure out still. He's like, look, I'll take the rupees, but like, then what? You know, like, okay, cool, I got the rupees. But then, like, what do you do with rupees if you can't go and, like, you know, change them out and get money for the rupees? Like, nobody wants rupees sometimes. They're like, I don't feel like it. I'm good with the rupees at the moment, you know? Like, if you came in with German Deutschmark, we'd be good. Like, I'd be like, okay, good, here you go, exchange that thing out. But when you come by with rupees, I'm like, I'm good on the rupee situation, you know? You got a big pile of rupees. You're like, I sold Sid45s. Everybody free rupees, part of the world. They're like, I'm buying a Sid45 to go to bed. Sid gets the Sid45s out to them. They all said the rupees come through in the mail. He buys them in the mail. A couple people send in some powder. It's not anthrax. No, it was just like somebody was just shaving, like a talcum powder. It happens sometimes, but really most of them were rupees. And when they got there, Sid had a big pile of rupees. It was like an old cartoon where you have that big pile of rupees behind him. And he's there, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, geez, how am I going to exchange these? Everywhere he goes, they're like, oh, rupees? Sorry, we're not interested. We're not in the business of rupees. Sorry, you have Deutschmarks? No? Okay, good. Sorry. Look, if you had sterling, British sterling, or if you're working with U.S. dollars, good to go. You know, no, we're not good on that one. You know, go and find a Russian or something and see if you can work with them. You know, you can do some sort of back end, 20 cents on the dollar, whatever. You know, because we are not interested in your situation there, rupees. No, we're not into it. Sorry. Do like your product though. Sid45 is very good. I had a friend of mine buy it for me. He had rupees. And so, like, I was there at his house one night. And he's like, look, this is cool. I just sent it through the mail. He was the one that was shaving talcum powder. He was talking to the guy. It came through the mail. Sorry, Sid, but you know what? Love the product. Good stuff. I'm curious, are you going to make like a Sid45 squared where you do the Bach version? You know, so instead of it being like a 4.2 on the alcohol, you know, you're going to do like an 8.4. You know, you're thinking about we're just giving you ideas because we do like the Sid45. If you're going on a malt level anyway, you could push it up to an 8.4. I'm not trying to tell you your business. I mean, you are Sid45. So, like, that's not me. To be like, hey, you should do this, Sid. But if you do it, I can guarantee you, boom, 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 you got a client for life right here. Sid45 Bach 2021 version. We are in. Are you selling styles? What's the IPO? If you could let me know on that one, we're going to be investing. Because we're talking about big time here, Sid45. You're out there on the stock. You're on the shelves. People going there, like, what do I want to drink? I'm getting a Sid45. That's right. It's the face drink of the best of the kind, but someone's saying it's the best in the world. Everybody says that. They're all there drinking it. Everybody's drinking the Sid45. Buck. You can't. You can't do that. Make a Bach version. You know, sometimes, Sid, I really question, like, when you get a great idea like that You don't just run to the drawing board. Sid pretty well, he's going with the Bach version. You just double the freaking alcohol. That's all you got to do. Leave it in for twice, I think. That's what you do. You're like, oh, I took it out after 3 weeks and it was good. Leave it in for 6. You got double at that point. You're blowing it out. I made a Bach CID45. You put it on the shelf. You make $1 billion. You're the first CID45 billionaire. If future Mark was here, he would tell you, Sid, I've seen this episode. It is done. If you put your head down, it gets accomplished. Yeah, the CID45 train just takes over. And all of a sudden, across the friggin' land, everyone's drinking CID45. The Bach version. You're surprised. Like, Sid's the one who's most surprised. He's sitting there, he's like, I can't figure it out anymore. Nobody bought the regular CID45. They all went Bach. Everybody went Bach. The whole planet went Bach. They're like, CID45 Bach, CID45 Bach. And you're like a super billionaire because you listened. You listened to the guy who wasn't going to take your rupees. I'm sorry, we can't. That's why the guy gave them to you. The guy who gave you the rupees so he can get the CID45. He's like, I can't freaking do anything with the rupees anyway. There's a guy who takes rupees for CID45. Shoo, let me give him all the freaking rupees I got. This guy sent a quarter of his house was there. It's just all like filled with rupees. It's just in the mail. 30 packages. Sid, how many packages did you get from him? I think it was 30. And yeah, there we go. Sid said there were 6,900 rupees per case. And he got 39 cases from that guy. Just for like, all he wanted back was 2 6-packs of CID45 for 39 cases of rupees. And Sid was like, yeah, no, cool, I got all these rupees. He didn't realize that rupees are friggin' garbage. Like, nobody even wants them. You can't even give them out to kids at Halloween. They're like, I got rupees. Parents throwing them back at Sid's house. Sid's got rupees all over his garden. People are like, wow, that's a really cool, like he's got this really cool landscape garden thing going on with art. Oh, what do you mean there's art? I don't know. There's all these red things all over. You freaking rupees. He's got rupees all over his lawn every freaking where. A couple of kids threw him hard. Put him like they threw him so hard, stuck in the side of the wood siding, cedar. So it's, it's a little softer. Rupees. And you got rupees in the siding now, looking like an old Keebler elf hut with all the rupees. And people walk by and laugh, chuckle. They're like, I don't even want to take him off the lawn. Let's just walk by and laugh at that guy who has rupees everywhere. The sad thing is that even though the entire property's filled with rupees now, where you could barely see any grass, all you see is rupees, you still go in the door, and as you open the door, friggin' rupees come out, just like pouring out of the house. You gotta go in like the old balls when you go to Hershey's Park, and you come down the slide, and it's just like a bunch of balls, and you're like, look, Mom and Dad, you're throwing the little colored balls around like the lady the other day with the fingernails, all those different colors, and you go, look at me. You're doing that in the house, kicking out rupees so you can just go in and grab a freaking glass of milk. You're like, I just need a glass of milk. Open the door. Out into the street. The kids are surfboarding on it. You got a hill. You live on a hill. What the hell is wrong with me? I just keep going with it. The rupees are pouring out of the house. You have a hill on a 3-degree pitch. They're starting to roll, right? Little kid comes down, 7-year-old. He's like the second coming of Tony Hawk. He takes the wheels off of his skateboard. He gets on them freaking rupees. He's going down the hill. He's going around. He goes around the freaking street like the pole. He's like this, right? He comes to the one point where you have to go over the curve, right? He ollies that curve like a champ. In the process, kicks up a couple rupees into Mrs. Robinson's light bulb. She was not happy. That was a special light bulb. That was Anderson Phillipson that made that light. And she's like, just keep in mind, okay? Rupees every freaking where. While this kid's coming down, you still hear it. It's coming out of the house. The kid's surfing on the rupees. Surfing. Ollies in the air. Kicks up. Rupees all over. Breaks the special light. It's my favorite light. She's pissed, right? The kid's up in the air. 7 flies through the air right at the same time. There's a little like a 16-year-old kid who's there smoking a cigarette. He's that kid, right? He was like, I'm doing it. He's smoking a cigarette. He's got his phone out. He's TikToking it. Look at me, I'm smoking a cigarette. He realizes that this 7-year-old is the real TikTok star. Flips the camera. Yibbity yap. He's filming this kid right now. He's flying through the air like this. Rupees flying into Mrs. Robinson's special light. This bonehead over here with the cigarette. Right? 7-year-old's flying through the air. He kicks the board out to do one of this old like and land on his feet. It flies into this is the craziest part. Flies through into the air. Hits the mailman right in the nog. It just so happened that it was a movie being filmed that day. And that skateboard happened to hit Ben Affleck right in his head. The thing is, it really wouldn't have been difficult to hit him in the head, no matter where that skateboard was projected that day. It could have been in that direction, could have been in that direction, could have been up there, could have been down there. You're hitting freaking Affleck right in the direct part of the face. Like you're like, oh my goodness. 7-year-old splat right on Ben Affleck. A couple rupees right into Affleck. Doop, 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 right down the ground. He's like, that was like when I was Pluto and an asteroid hit me. Doesn't bother him at all, right? So here's the thing. You feel really bad because you ran into him full speed. You're a 7-year-old. And you're like, I love you, Ben Affleck. You were awesome in Batman. You didn't realize his head was that big either, though. Like, that's the one thing as a 7-year-old. You did step back. You're like, oh, at first. And then you were like, oh, that's right. That's the guy from the movie. And then you're trying to figure out, as a 7-year-old, we were kind of really impressed with the way your mind functioned, that you started going through the process of saying to yourself, how the freaking heck did they get that guy's head on camera? It must have been like a 7-camera job. You know, film it from enough angles and you can get one angle, you know. Like if I take all of these angles and capture an Affleck, maybe I could concise it into a normal looking head. And that's what they seem to be doing in Hollywood. And that is what the 7-year-old figured out as he gingerly walked across the entire street filled of rupees because your freaking door is still pouring it out. All right, here's the crazy thing. You are standing there. You're looking at it. Sid, you're looking down the street as this kid does all of this. You're like, holy freaking cow, he ran into Affleck. And you said again, you're like, he ran into Affleck again. Because you thought you saw something like that in a dream. There was like a weird deja vu moment for you. You're like, he did it again. It was the first time, Sid. You should really need some rest. Anyway, so then you're like, oh, goody, goody. That's good because most of the rupees are out of the house now. I don't have to worry about that. I'm having a hard time with the exchange rate. You go in the door and you're still at 7 feet. 7 feet of rupees. You walk in and you're swimming in it. Pushing him out the door in the process just to try to make a friggin' somewhat of a path to get some milk. I know. Sid, it's like... It's unbelievable. Why won't anybody just take your rupees? Take them off your hands already. I mean, like, you just want to go back to normal. Walk through your house and not have to, swim across the house. Rupee house. That's rupees. Really. That's where we are. That's where Sid is right now, CID45. Look, you wanted to have the production launch and do it before you had the currency situation figured out. Oh, we can't sell it to people in the U.S. We can't sell it to anybody but people from India. Oh, really? You're going to go put it in India for rupees? Okay, yeah, you do the rupee situation. Okay? Go ahead. Let me know how you're doing in up there in Alaska when you get that freaking rupee in the mail. Oh, how'd you do? I got a freaking house full of rupees. Oh, literally? Like, what do you mean? Like a room? No, the house. Up to the freaking ceiling. I can't even go in there. How do you get your milk? I don't know. I still haven't figured that out. I'm opening the door, and I'm watching kids skateboard down the friggin' street. My neighbor hates me. She had this really cool light. No more. Yeah, a little kid ran into Ben Affleck. Right into the big, where that part of right by there. Affleck just went like this. It didn't even feel it. He didn't know what happened, actually. He had his eyes closed for a split second. He was just taking a nap. And he's like, oh. He did one of those. And a poor 7-year-old, he's like splattered. Came out. Affleck! Affleck has a hard time hearing when you're that close to him. Because remember, when you're here, his ears are all the way the frig over there. Like, all the way there, and all the way over to friggin' there. Oh, he's like, well, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Hold on, let me. What's that? Can you say that one more time? He's got to turn his friggin' head to hear anything you say. I'm sorry. It's just what happens when you're out there on the street with rupees in your house trying to kick him out of the friggin' house. Sid! Just give it another 2 weeks. Get your manager to hook up the conversion rate. Sell it to U.S. customers as well. Sold out the first night. He's like, I'm going rupees. Sold the friggin' complete stock out. He's like, I got 750,000, like cases of this CID45. Sells it out, all rupees. Now he can't get his money back. He's like, can I get my 750,000 cases of CID45 back? Because your rupees are worthless. Sorry, buddy. No take-backs. No take-backs. You should have known before you made a deal like 2 6-packs for 3,247 rupees. That's a deal you have to live with now, Sid. I'm actually enjoying this CID45 right now while you're talking to me. We open them and if we drink it, each can, it takes us a week to get through. A sip a day. A sip a day, CID45. We can't, take too much in at one time. First of all, we could die. We don't ever drink. But the other thing is that we use it for our religious celebrations. So CID45, Bach version. We're doing that one now. I just want to thank you for it, CID45. And how are those rupees doing? Yeah, not too good, right? Old Sid. CID45. Get the greatest drink on the planet. It's the Bach version. Kick you in the friggin' Bach. I don't know what the hell that is. Some people like Beethoven. Other people like Mozart. CID45 likes Bach. Ooh, I just came up with the commercial. I want full credit. I want full credit for that one, Sid. Some people like Beethoven. Other people like Mozart. CID45. We like Bach. Boom! 8.4% alcohol by volume. By Menon. We did it. We did it by Menon again.